I'm Mallory Donohue, and I am a Salesforce consultant. I have been working as a Salesforce consultant for almost 6 months now, since August of 2021.
Can you tell me some more about what you did before you got into Salesforce? Because it's so interesting.
Yeah, so I actually still do this. Rewinding way back, I ran a sewing machine dealership for almost 10 years here in town. It was my family's business. And actually, it's crazy how much that prepared me for a Salesforce career or just learning about the platform. And then in 2017, we took everything online. We run a sewing education website actually with online classes and digitally downloaded patterns. We have a podcast. So lots of content marketing related to the sewing world. And so that was kind of my main profession before getting into the Salesforce ecosystem.
Wow, very cool. So you went straight from something completely different into Salesforce consultant role. You didn't even do admin or business analyst role. How is that like?
Yeah, it was really neat. So I guess I can tell you a little bit about my timeline, like with Talent Stacker and whatnot. I found out about Talent Stacker on the Choose FI podcast, your episode being one of which convinced me to go for it. But I found out about it, actually, it was October of 2020, because I know it was then, because I looked back and I got my first Trailhead badge on my birthday, which is in October, just completely randomly. But I'm like, oh, that's a funny anniversary. So heard about it October of 2020. This is during the pandemic, of course. Being on Trailhead, being in that kind of gamified space, that was fun. But I got cold feet and I kind of backed off. And then I heard your episode. I heard Dennison's episode of Choose FI and decided to really take the plunge in May of 2021. And I dove, head first into all the content and ended up getting hired as a consultant by August of 2021. And the role that I was hired to fulfill had a lot to do with content creation. So Salesforce has a product that is a chatbot, and the team that I joined was all about creating chatbots for Salesforce customers. And they needed someone who could kind of own the content creation process for each client. I am a very personable person. I really like to talk to people. I was recruited for this role after being very active on LinkedIn. So when you talk about, oh, there was no admin first, or there was no this, definitely that sort of unrelated experience and being vocal about that type of experience on LinkedIn helped me. I think you'll hear this a lot, viewer, as you research the Salesforce ecosystem. It's anyone can learn Salesforce, right? So you put your mind to it, but then you can have domain specific knowledge that helps separate you from the rest of the pool or just helps you get a job. And so I was recruited and said, oh, we need somebody with content experience. You are going to have to get certified, because I wasn't certified yet, but we need somebody who can do things like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, combining Salesforce with content creation. And after I learned about this position, I call myself an amateur linguist. I listen to linguistics podcasts for fun. So I absolutely enjoy learning about linguistics. And so learning about chatbots and how they use natural language processing and the whole field of computational linguistics, that just caught me up too. So learning about the neural networks and all that jazz, it was just really neat to see the world of tech coming into like my other hobbies coming together. I could not be more grateful for that really neat situation. So yeah, I was not an independent before taking on this consultant role, and I got to really jump in and work with clients right away, which was super fun. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, is working on that team.
Very cool. I didn't realize they reached out to you before you were even certified.
Actually, and I think this is important for me to share. Someone reached out to me and said, oh, we need somebody with content. Are you certified? I said, well, I hate to tell you, but I just failed my admin exam. And I'm so glad that I shared that with this person, because they came back to me and said, oh, don't worry about it. I failed it the first time too. And then she said, we've got a developer on our team, brilliant developer, and he failed the admin test. I can't remember 6 or 7 times the first time he tried. And so I if there's somebody who's on this point in their journey looking toward the test, if you do fail it the first time, it's not the end of the world. It is the beginning of a really wonderful journey. I definitely took it really hard when I failed it the first time. I was sad for a while. I did though. That was extremely motivating for me to be contacted by someone recruiting. And so I did take it again and said, hey, I'm certified now. I got back with her. And I happened to be something that they were looking for, someone that they were looking for. And a lot of times I sort of feel like I lucked into the job, but I'm actually kind of telling myself, don't say that. I was sure I was lucky. I was fortunate, but I put myself out there in the right way. And I did. It's increasing your chances of getting lucky. So I've seen a couple other people say that, oh, I lucked into my position. I'm like, no, no, no. Let's remove that from the narrative. We didn't.
I'm
No.
guilty of that. And I keep trying to remind myself of that saying, good luck is when I think hard work and timing come together or something like that. But you're right. We should own up to it because you put in the work and you're very consistent with it. And eventually, yeah, it seems like good luck when you post about it on LinkedIn, but you don't post about all the things you're doing in the background to get to that point.
Yeah, like, is it good luck that I actually had to implement a CRM for my family sewing business when I had no idea what that was, and then got that experience, and then got all this content creation experience? And no, that was hard work. Those are things I did, and I happened to be a good fit. And the Salesforce ecosystem, I mean, we know is looking for talent right now. A lot of people will say, oh, I don't have the experience yet. You're going to find an employer who is okay with that. You're going to find an employer who is okay with whatever level of experience you bring to the table. And it might not be the first one or the ninth one. It might not be for a while, but there is someone out there, because I know some people just let that kind of stop them in their tracks. Sometimes I think it's completely understandable, but you need to know there's going to be an employer out there who's like, no, I'm willing to train you on what I need to train you on. I'm glad you're bringing in this good attitude or this willingness to learn. I had several other, interviews that didn't pan out during that time, even though the timeline to hire was pretty quick. So just so everybody knows, it wasn't like all rainbows and butterflies. There was a test failure. There was a few rejections in there.
Yeah, I feel like failing a Salesforce exam is kind of a rite of passage. I mean, there are those out there who pass every single one on the first try. I was one of the lucky ones, or no, not lucky. I worked hard and binge learned on Trailhead and passed the first time for the admin. I didn't try so hard for the platform app builder, and it showed when I failed. But it does help. It's interesting, the psychology of it. When you fail an exam, they're difficult and they're tricky, but actually failing one, it puts you in a dark space. But then you have this relatable feeling with everyone else who's failed an exam. It's amazing to watch how many people come back and try again, and then finally succeed and pass.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was common to fail. And I have always been a really good test taker. I wouldn't do my homework in high school, but then I'd get a 100 on the test. That's just how I work. And I don't have test taking anxiety. That's a real thing that a lot of people have that is tough to overcome. So I think it was especially a blow because I was like, oh man, I don't remember the last time I failed a test. I mean, it's been a while since I took a test too, having been out of school for a while, but I was definitely knocked down a peg or two. So I have, as of this afternoon, 4 certifications, and 2 I had failures on, and 2 I did pass on the first time. So it's possible. I think that it makes sense why I passed the other 2 on the first time. I had experience in those areas, and I think I really plow ahead with a platform app builder a little faster than I should have. Definitely.
Oh, so okay, you had 3 before you tried for platform app builder?
Yeah.
Oh, because normally it's like admin and then you get for platform app builder. What were the other 2?
So I did admin, and then service cloud consultant, and the user experience designer certification, and then platform app builder. And it's so funny because speaking with my teammates, A few of the sort of developer heavy people said, oh my gosh, Service Cloud, that consultant exam is so hard. I failed it the first time, et cetera. And they're like, why'd you fail Platform App Builder, Mal? And I'm like, well, I passed Service Cloud on the first time, and then I, failed Platform App Builder. And so it was just funny that it can have things to do with your previous experience. It can have to do with maybe a little bit of the way your brain's wired. So yeah, I almost think that I just shouldn't have tried for Platform App Builder so quickly. It was about 3 months after I started my first Salesforce job. So I think I rushed it a bit. That's okay. Things
That's
happen.
interesting, because I've been wanting to do Service Cloud, but I'm like, oh, I probably should go in order. But knowing that other people didn't go in order, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's so funny because they're like, oh, take it. But that's not everybody's experience, So the Service Cloud consultant exam, I listened to a podcast about call centers actually, and it gave me all of this real world kind of these stories, which helped so much. And then the same with passing Platform App Builder. I'm like, okay, writing 50 validation rules later or configuring this many page layouts later in real life, I feel so much more secure in my answers to these test questions.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your day-to-day? I know you're working directly with clients. Do they just throw you in? Are you handling your own clients now? How many are you handling at a time?
That's a good question. So I'm in a little bit of a unique situation, and I did get thrown into a project super fast, which I was like, yes, like, let's do it. I have a very supportive team. I know this isn't going to be the same for every consultancy, and consultancies and consulting can get a really bad rap for work-life balance and things like that. I feel like I have good work-life balance. Many of my team members talk about their families. They have families. I've got 2 small children. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old right now. And so I feel well supported on my team. People don't want you to feel when you're on their team in a consultancy. They don't want to be working with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, or they're willing to help, at least in my environment. So I was thrown onto a project. Since we have focused in the past so heavily in this sort of Service Cloud area, in the chatbot area, it's like we're on a project for a client, we're meeting with those clients just about daily, and then going back and solution and presenting and demonstrating. And I almost feel like I'm a theater kid. I almost feel like it's like a show. It's like, okay, we get in there, we figure it out. We figure out who everyone is, and then we go to work, and then we create this product. I also like that as in the type of way that I like to be creative. I don't really like to make the same thing over and over. I like to solve new challenges. So just the rhythm of this work has been fun and exciting for me. And I heard that from a teammate too. He had been an internal admin, and he said, consulting was kind of on my bucket list because I'll get to work on different things all the time. Now, consultants can get stuck in ruts too, but I really like that. Meeting with clients, I have flexibility to do things like drop off and pick up a kid from school, as long as I don't have some kind of urgent client meeting or something like that. And it can be lots of hard work and problem solving, but I don't know. People will say consulting is stressful. And I'm like, have you never been stressed out at a job before? Maybe paid a lot less to be really stressed out? I don't know. I have. I don't know how you feel about that, but I have found that this consulting environment is actually really nurturing. Yeah, it's fast paced a little bit, but nothing I can't handle. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy my day to day.
Yeah, from speaking to a lot of different people, it seems like solo admin might be the most high stress one out of all of them.
That's a lot of responsibility. Yeah, I mean, and you're supposed to know, Salesforce is so vast, right? The joke, if you're getting into this space for the first time, like, what is Salesforce? Good question. I don't know if I still can even describe it. I mean, I'm building chatbots, and a lot of people don't even know that that's something that Salesforce can do. Salesforce is so vast. If you're an admin and you have to deal with all these different things, you just have to have a wide breadth of knowledge, I would imagine. Now, of course, you can, depending on the size of your company, then get paired with like a consulting firm or something. I've worked with admins from companies talking about what we're implementing, and that's been, super fun to see how they work and to maybe bring a little bit of joy to their professional life. Like, we're going to handle this for you. We'll get this in place and leave you with the training and documentation. And then they get to enjoy this new feature, and hopefully it helps them out as they manage data or processes.
I love it. You are so confident right now.
I definitely have felt imposter syndrome for sure. However, I've been performing in theater and stuff since I was a little kid. When I joined Talent Stacker, I got the interview and I ended up not using it because I got hired so quickly. And I asked to pass it on to another member. I might not need the interview coaching because, like, I'll just talk. And this is the stuff I'm good at. And actually, it's been a little bit, this is feedback I've gotten, or this is something you need to think about as a consultant. You need to be confident. You need to know how to present things, but then you also need to have a lot of that active listening, right? I don't know if you have featured, who's the woman who does the consulting master classes, the Zen
Uh,
How.
Payman.
Okay, yeah, she's always posting about, and I guess teaching about, active listening. So I had to work on that a little bit, making sure that I was doing that. I can bowl people over actually, and it can be a little bit of a weakness as a consultant. So I don't feel so much imposter syndrome anymore. And I think something has sort of clicked into place in my brain around the 6-month mark, that knowing how to ask the right question is the important part. So if a challenge comes up in Salesforce, technically, now I know how to Google it. And it's important to know how to Google it, how to ask the right question. And Googling, that can mean looking in Salesforce documentation. And that's what I'm doing. And so now I almost feel like any technical issue that I come up against, I know how to ask the question, or I know who to go to for a little bit of guidance on my team. And we can all have teams, whether we're consultants or we're solo admins. We can have communities through Trailhead or Facebook groups or things like that. And so it's sort of this knowledge that there are going to be challenges, just the positive, absolute positivity, knowing there are going to be challenges, and then knowing that I know how to fix them, or how to ask the question, or know who to ask. Everything's gonna be fine. I hope that anyone else who gets to join a consultancy has the same experience that I have with such a supportive team, because it's been key in all of this.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you so much for doing this.